I still remember that night, like it is carved into my bones. I had just returned from the hospital after spending 2 exhausting days by my mother's bedside. She had suffered a mild stroke, and though the doctors said she was stable, my heart had been shaken. I walked into our house in Finland, carrying a heavy heart, but also a silent hope that my wife Madelyn would be there to hug me, to ask me if I was okay, to give me the strength I felt slipping away. Instead, I walked into a cold, silent home. It was past midnight. The moonlight spilled through the tall windows of our living room. Everything looked untouched, too perfect, too still. "Madelyn," I called softly. I expected her sleepy voice from the bedroom, maybe a rushed hug because she missed me too. But there was nothing, no sound. I felt something tighten inside my chest. I climbed the stairs slowly, every step echoing like it carried the weight of my fears. When I reached our bedroom door, it was open. The lights were on, but the bed was untouched, sheets perfectly flat. That's when I heard it, a quiet sound, a soft sob, coming from the bathroom. I walked toward the bathroom door and tried the handle. It was locked. "Madelyn?" I asked, confused. "Are you okay?" Silence. Then I heard her breath catch, like she was holding back tears. "Open the door," I said gently. "It's me, Brandon." I waited 30 seconds, a minute. My heartbeat accelerated. I knocked softly again. "Madelyn, please." When she finally spoke, her voice sounded like it belonged to someone else, someone broken. "Brandon, please don't come in. Just give me a moment." Her words felt like a blade through my chest. I didn't understand what was happening. For the past 2 days, she barely answered my calls. She said she was tired, busy, nothing more. And now this? "Madelyn," I said more firmly. "I'm worried." "Open the door." I heard her quietly sobbing. Then slowly, the lock clicked. She didn't open the door fully, just cracked it enough so I could see part of her face. Her eyes were red, cheeks wet with tears. She looked scared and strangely guilty. "What happened?" I whispered. "Madelyn, talk to me." She shook her head, biting her lip. I can't. Not right now. You need rest. You were with your mother. You're tired. Please." I pushed the door gently open. She stepped back, arms wrapped around herself. Her eyes couldn't meet mine. I realized then she was fully dressed, like she had been sitting there for hours, not preparing to sleep. "Madelyn," I said softly, "don't shut me out. I just spent 2 days thinking how much I needed you. Why are you hiding from me?" Her lips trembled again. "I'm not hiding. I just don't know how to say it." "What?" I asked. "Say what?" She turned her face away, shoulders shaking. "That I might lose you." Her words threw me off. "Lose me? Why would you lose me?" She looked at me, then really looked at me, and I saw a pain I had never seen in her before. "Because I failed," she whispered. I froze, my mind spinning. Failed at what? She stumbled back, covering her face. Failed at being what you needed. Failed at being good enough. Failed at giving you what you deserved. My voice hardened. "Madelyn, what are you talking about?" She didn't respond. Instead, she slid to the floor and whispered something I could barely hear. "I think I can't be a mother." That moment felt like the room stopped breathing. I knelt down beside her, heart pounding. "What did you just say?" She looked at me with broken eyes. "The tests. I didn't tell you. I've known for a week. The doctor said it might be hard for me to ever get pregnant. And when your mother got sick, and I saw you holding her hand, I thought one day you'd look at me differently. That you'd regret loving someone who couldn't give you a family." Tears spilled from her eyes. "So I hid in here, because I didn't know how to tell you that you might never have a child with me." The shock that hit me was sharp, but what hurt more was how alone she must have felt, how long she carried that pain and chose silence over trust. I pulled her into my arms despite her resistance. "Madelyn," I whispered into her hair, "you think I love you only to have children? You think I married you because I expected perfection?" She cried harder. "I thought you'd be disappointed." "I am," I said softly, "but not in you. In the fact that you thought you couldn't tell me this, that you suffered alone." She clung to me then, like she finally believed I wouldn't walk away. We sat there for a long time on that bathroom floor, the moonlight casting silver shadows across the tiles. The silence between us wasn't cold anymore, it was healing. Days passed. I stayed by her side. We talked, we cried, we healed. But then something happened. One afternoon, while checking messages on her phone, she gave it to me voluntarily to show there were no secrets. I saw repeated missed calls from a contact named Dr. E. My stomach tightened. She saw my face and immediately explained. "It's not what you think," she said. "He's a fertility specialist. I've been talking to him for weeks, trying to find options before telling you." "You did all this alone?" I asked, hurt and admiration mixing inside me. I wanted to find hope before showing you my fear. That day, I decided I wouldn't let her carry anything alone again. 2 weeks later, we visited the clinic together. There were complications, but we had options treatments, alternative paths. For the first time in weeks, Madelyn allowed herself to hope. But life had another challenge waiting. When my mother returned home from the hospital, she noticed our distance. One evening during dinner at her house, she softly asked me, "Brandon, are you and Madelyn okay?" Before I could answer, Madelyn spoke quietly. "I'm sorry if I haven't been myself lately. I'm scared." My mother, a woman of strength, stood and walked to her. She took her hands and said, "Do you think motherhood only comes from bearing a child?" Madelyn looked confused. My mother smiled gently. "Motherhood comes from love, and I have seen how you love my son. One day, you will love a child the same way, no matter how that child comes into your life." Madelyn began to tear up. I looked at my mother, grateful beyond words. I thought we were finally moving forward until the night I found an envelope hidden in our drawer. It was from Madelyn's father, whom she hadn't spoken to in years due to his controlling behavior. The letter begged her to leave me, claiming I deserved someone fertile, and offered money if she did. That night, something switched inside me. I realized our conflict wasn't just about fear. It was about outside expectations, pressure, judgment, and that needed to end. The next morning, I drove us to her father's estate. She tried to stop me, but I said calmly, "It's time to stop running." We entered his office. He looked surprised to see me. "I heard your offer," I said quietly, "but let me make something clear. I didn't marry Madelyn for children. I married her because she makes me whole. And if we ever have a child, biological, adopted, or otherwise, it'll be because she and I decided together. Not because of your money,